guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video, and here we go. We are in the final couple hours here. We have the global data download, which has all of the major anniversary characters in here. So we have LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, we have the LR Gods, we have the Texan Shenron, and then we have the STR Broly, all present here in the data download. Now, the banners are going to be dropping 4 hours when I made this tweet. It's going to be about 3 hours and 20 minutes is when the banners are going to be dropping, from this second. I mean, it'll be at 1 a.m. Eastern, man. I've explained it as bad. It's a hype day, anniversary day, man. And we know this right here. So timestamp they use to display the start date, blah, 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 blah. So the banner should drop at that time, right? And here we have the answer. So we have that. And then lastly, what we have is this. So Global does indeed have the global exclusive tickets. So what this is right here is, you'll do your... Actually, damn, I probably should have pulled up, like, the news from, like, last year that like, sort of, like, explains it, right? But every, like, summons you're going to be doing on the banners, you're going to be getting these tickets, which you could then be using, right, to, do more summons, right? It's just, the value is insane, right? Like, you're doubling the amount of summons you could do when Global does have these tickets, right? It's just crazy, the value you're going to get out of them. So these characters are very good. Their banners are very good. There's not really any reason, I would say, not to summon. Because, like, if you go through these characters' kits, you just don't really get this level of power for the rest of the game, right? Like, I think Dokkan did a much better job this year with the anniversary units than they did last year. I think that these kits for LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and the LR Super Saiyan Blues are just a lot more explosive, right? They're doing, like, really crazy stuff that's not just instantly sort of getting power crept by other characters and stuff like that. There is a character, I think, that's competing with them, but I just feel like the gap is much larger here for these top characters in the game this year than there was last year, right, for the characters, right? Because, like, Evolution Blue Vegeta, since the day he came out, it was very contentious and if he was better than characters like STR Vegeto, right? Whereas, like, these units have dropped here, and I've, like, not heard anyone argue about any unit besides, like, Vegeta and Trunks being on the level of the anniversary characters, right? Because they're just doing too much. You have the very ridiculous guard their first turn, right? Which allows them to essentially be incredibly effective in EZAs, Super Battle Road stages, or Dokkan Battlefield, which is, again, very powerful. They are characters that stack before you transform, which means, they can be super mega effective in, say, legendary events, right? Like the GT Legendary Goku event or the Legendary Vegeta event, which are getting a lot of missions added during the 7th anniversary as well. So a lot of stones and tickets global players would be able to farm up from those missions, and these LRs are on teams for some of the missions as well, right? So you have that. They have a ridiculously good key mechanic as well, right? So they get 1 key per type key sphere for the first 7 turns from the start of turn. And then they're also just baseline getting key per type key sphere as well. So, this unit, for example, would be getting 4 key from a physical key sphere, which is just an awful lot, right? Like, that's huge value right there. Makes it very easy for these characters to super attack with ease, right? With the big 18 key super attacks. And then even furthermore, where at 20 key, you have the guaranteed additional super, and then at 24 key, super effective against all types. These ridiculously powerful abilities you're able to get just by getting high key are really not that tough to get with these characters, right? So that is really, really good. So already, it's like you just have a lot of things set up for them to completely dominate. Link sets are good for the 2 units. The only unfortunate thing is that Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta does have shocking speed here. Now, the gods, right, like, the gods and Super Saiyan 4s, they're built exactly the same. Super attack effects and passives are exactly the same, basically. They get different once they transform, But the one thing the gods have that is definitely an advantage over the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta unit is that the gods have prepare for battle, whereas the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta character does not have prepared for battle, right? They have shocking speed, which hurts. Shocking speed is not good on this character. This unit would feel much more powerful, I think, if they actually did have prepare for battle. What's crazy is their best linking partner, like LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku, is a prepared for battle character, not shocking speed. It's funny because the original Super Saiyan 4s, STR Super Saiyan 4 Goku and AGL Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, the second anniversary units, they had prepare for battle and shocking speed. But then when they dropped the LR versions of those characters, AGL Super Saiyan 4 Goku and STR Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, they took off shocking speed for legendary power, but kept them with prepare for battle. Then we get this anniversary LR for the 7th anniversary, and they don't have prepare for battle. So it's like they kind of did different stuff with each one of them, right? That's kind of like the one weakness there. Now, then when you transform with them, with both the gods and Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, you have a lot of very strong abilities. Now, I think there's arguments you could pull up for each version here, the LR gods or Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, right, for what abilities you might think are better. I probably would say I slightly prefer LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, because I really like this. The high chance to counter enemy super attacks is very, very powerful. And then Gogeta, like, let's take a look at what so he gets the massive, start of turn buffs right there. He's getting the 2 key per type key sphere, which is good. Then he gets 7% crit chance and damage reduction per rainbow key sphere. If you're doing an event and you're able to really stack up before you transform, then that is going to hit even harder, of course. I've found that it's not really that easy to just stack forever. A lot of times in these red zone fights, these characters are designed for red zone, right? 200% leader skills are designed for red zone. Red zone's designed for 200% leader skills. In there, oftentimes I've found it necessary to transform on turn 4 right away with both the gods and LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Oftentimes, the bosses and the fights are just so tough that I have felt compelled to do it like right away, right? So that's something that's important to keep in mind. He's also super effective against all types. Then he has a medium chance to crit and then a high chance to launch an additional super attack as well. Now, if you're screwed in terms of ki, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is going to perform better than the gods, right? Which can happen in these tough fights. Now, let's take a look at what the gods do, right? So, they're getting the same massive buff, same buff per key sphere. Here's where things are a little bit different. So, they have a 7% chance to crit, like Gogeta, but then they get a 7% chance to dodge per rainbow key sphere, rather than damage reduction. They're super effective against all types, is gated behind 16 key, and then their additional is gated behind 20 key. They have a medium chance to crit, just like LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta does. And then they also have a medium chance of dodging. Now, their the dodge they get from Rainbow Key Spheres, is 7% right here, stacks with this. So if you get 3 Rainbow Key Spheres, they have a 51% chance to dodge. It's not 21% chance to dodge from your 3 Rainbow Key Spheres, and then a separate 30%. They do directly stack on top of each other, so that is good. But if you're screwed for key, this character, is not going to be super effective. You're not going to get the guaranteed additional, right? I think I slightly like what LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is doing a bit better. They have the same super attack effects, which are insane, right? The 100% right here, the 50% right here, and then you do have the nullification. These characters can be at their best if utilized with a scouter character, so you could see potentially where an enemy super attack is and then nullify it. That's the best way to go about that, right? So we have that. And then one of the single strongest things in the game, these characters started this trend of these ridiculous active skill attacks. So they do their active skill, which crits, and then all their attacks for the turn become crits, along with ultimate damage. Because of the fact that they stack right here, that adds directly to the damage from their active skill attack, which just makes it hit so hard. But the condition is incredible. either you're under 50% HP or the enemy's under 50% HP. I've found this to just be so good. I've never really been like, oh, I can't get it, I need it. Like, it always seems to happen when you need it. So these characters top to bottom, I mean, I do think that LR Vegeta and Trunks from the Tanabata Celebration is a little bit better than these characters, but these units I feel like are, like, they get better with that character introduced into the game. So after 6 months, this character has not been power crept, and the only thing that's actually happened is I feel like they're better than the day they came out on JP. So I would not like think that there should be any shame in a global player and like summoning for these characters. Or, oh, I'm gonna wait for this, or wait for Worldwide, or wait for Tanabata. I think summoning for these characters is definitely really good. Now the banner units are not quite on the same pedestal, obviously, but this Broly I think is just very not that impressive. They gave him nothing to stand out. Like, he could be okay, but this is not like a standout character at all, right? He wants a lot of key spheres, which, I mean, if we look at this teams, Pure Saiyans are going to be full of LRs. Movie Bosses has a lot of key-hungry units as well. So it's like, you're probably going to struggle with key for this guy anyway. Final Blow mechanics suck ass. So, like, it's yeah, good luck getting that right there. I don't know. I just, this guy to me is just very ineffective. They gave him nothing special. He should be supporting or have orb changing, scouter, guard, damage reduction, dodge, something better. The strongest thing with this guy is his link set. Very good. Saiyan lineage, prepare for battle, shocking speed. Like, having all those together could be very good, but I don't think you're going to find a ton of spots to use this guy, right? Maybe some new team will pop up. Maybe Movie Bosses would get a crazy 200% lead or something like that, but as it stands right now, I just don't see this guy being able to excel anywhere. And he's just really not that impressive. Now, Tech Sin is definitely a lot better than Broly. He's a lot better than Broly. This guy can go absolutely crazy. He Rainbow Orb changes, and then he does need orbs, but these Shadow Dragons are going to be so tight together with their links that I imagine even if they drop like an LR Omega Shenron, who might be this guy's best friend, even though this guy needs key, I think both this guy and like a theoretical LR Omega would be able to eat. And I think you could get both of them at full power. This guy with all these buffs is crazy, right? He's getting huge amounts of buffs just for all these key orbs. Disables enemy guard, which means he's not going to be slowed down too much by enemies. Then he has a high chance to crit, and then he gets more buffs and a high chance to additional. So this guy's Rainbow Orb changing with a high chance to crit, high chance to additional. He's rocking oftentimes 400k plus defense. You know, even higher than that, I think he can get pretty easily if there would be a strong support unit he could have. He could triple super. This guy is just really strong. But he has the same issue in that there's not really spots to utilize him in. Now, this guy's really good, so, you know, if they decided to make the Shadow Dragons, for example, a real team, then this guy would be really powerful. You look at what happened with the Ginyu Force team, and at any moment, if Dokkan just decides to do it, they could turn any of this stuff into really good teams, really tight teams. They easily could. So you never know, right? Like, they could drop a crazy LR Omega and then release, like, dark versions of the Shadow Dragons from Heroes and stuff like that. Like, there's all types of stuff they could do to make these characters, like, really busted. This guy, in the future, this guy could be very good, but we'll see how long it takes them to turn, like, the Shadow Dragons into, like, a legitimate top contending team. So let me know what you guys think of the global data download. Again, the banners are going to be dropping about 3 hours from now at 1 a.m. Eastern. Good luck, global players, on your summons. You've got the tickets. Everything is looking good right now. Good luck, you guys, on all your summons.